Hello, my noble band of outlaws. Outlaw Samurai coming at you live with a video. Well, with coronavirus and all this shit, I thought I'd come up with a video that was entertaining and delicious. So, we are going to be making a quick and simple version of chicken fajita.
What the hell all are you ruining?
I'm not ruining anything. My grandmother adding to the comedy of this.
What are you using?
I'm using what I normally use.
I have no
I'll be
idea
right
what
back.
that is.
Sorry about that. Had to get some stuff off camera. Now, when making these chicken fajitas, usually what you want to do is use chicken breast meat. I have these pre-grilled chicken patties made from breast meat. And I'm going to use those and a red pepper. Now, traditionally you use red and green peppers along with some onion, but I had to use the green peppers last night for something else, and I don't particularly like onion unless they're in onion rings, so I'm just going to do a more simplified version. For the grease, you're going to need grease for this, trust me.
Better turn that off and start farming something.
You're going to need Crisco. Now, the reason you want to use this kind of Crisco, the shortening version, a few different reasons. For one, this kind of Crisco, it doesn't really burn like olive oil or butter, stuff like that. If any of you have been fans of the Outlaw Samurai for a while, you know I used to work at Walmart. And there's kind of this catharsis in the Walmart deli where you fill the trough up on Monday and you empty it out on Thursday. That being because Crisco does not burn easily.
Wow, you're really good.
Now, the knife I'm going to be using is the Forged in Fire Chef's Knife, the review of which is on my channel already. Now, we're going to take and wash the red pepper, so I'll be off screen for a moment. You just kind of want to give it a good rinse off. You don't have to scrub it. By the way, do not use soap and water when doing this because it will make the thing taste disgusting. I don't think I have to tell any of you that, my noble band of outlaws. But just in case any of you are just beginning to cook or you have kids to cook, it's a good tip to tell them. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Split the red pepper stem side from stem to bottom. That way you can get the core out. And unlike green peppers, red peppers actually are a tad bit spicy. And it's not the pepper itself that's necessarily spicy, it's this white part inside and the seeds. So just kind of scoop that out. You can use a spoon to do it too, like I'm doing. So just kind of scoop them out. Now, I personally like spicy food. So if you like yours spicy, then go to town with the spicy. Add spicy seasonings, add spicy spices. Just go to town with what you like. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm prepping the vegetables first. And that's because these frozen chicken patties I have, they don't take very long to cook, especially when you cut them up. They only take like maybe 2 or 3 minutes to cook. These will take a little longer. So, we'll just cut these up a little smaller. Try to cut them into somewhat thin slices. Similar to this. Now I'm going to pause the video while I get all this cut up, so it's not like 50 minutes long. Alright, so once you get the red pepper completely cut into strips, then you cut the strips in half like so. And I'm going to go ahead and do the chicken so I can just throw the red pepper into the pan and then let it fry and have the chicken ready. Same thing with the...
You just like to play with that nut.
My grandmother adding again to the comedy value. Again, you cut the chicken into strips, and just like with the peppers, you cut all the strips in half. If you're making this for yourself like I am, you can kind of nibble on the ingredients a bit. Red pepper is not that bad. Now, I'm going to pause the camera. Once again, I know I don't like... This is the only kind of editing I have. And I'm going to position it so you can see the oil. Okay, now you can see the frying pan and all that. Here are the ingredients. Some nice red pepper. Just throw that in there. Get yourself a fork or some sort of stirring implement and start stirring. Oh, damn. Already that's a thick piece right there. Already that smell is starting to come off the peppers. I want to let them just cook there for a little bit while I get the seasoning. Now for simplistic reasons, we're going to be using black pepper, salt, and a bit of garlic. I call this Outlaw Samurai Simple Fajita. And I challenge you, the noble band of outlaws at this current time, at your own homes, to make my simple fajitas. All you really need is 1 red bell pepper, salt, pepper, and garlic, and if you're using frozen chicken breasts like the kind you buy in the bag, I'd say 1 or 2 of those, cut again into strips, about maybe a 1/4 inch wide along the length of the chicken breast. And then once all the strips are cut, you cut those strips in half widthwise. So like, you cut the chicken like this to begin with. Then you gather all the strips together. And you find the middle of those strips and you cut them in half. Now you're probably wondering why I so heavily seasoned the bell pepper. Well, that's because the bell pepper, the way I do it, the oil is getting most of the seasoning. So when you throw the meat in as well, the meat will get the seasoning from the oil. Now, red peppers in general, as I'm to understand it, take a little bit of time to cook. So I'm going to pause this video until these peppers start getting a little more color. Again, I know you guys probably hate me pausing the videos all this much, but I don't want this video to be like an hour long. So I'm going to pause it and be right back. Little update on the peppers. They're beginning to soften, and I just wish you could smell how good these smell. I'm starting to sound like a cooking show, aren't I? But these things just smell delicious. Here's a little taste one. Oop, I don't want to stay on the fork. Damn. That's some good shit right there. That's some good stuff. And if you got some bits on the sides of the pan, you can kind of use those peppers as a scraper. Well, these are turning out great, so I'm going to go ahead and add the chicken. Now, you're probably wondering how to cook these. I tend to put it on a high 8 if you have a stove like mine with numbers. I tend to put it on an 8 and let the pan preheat for about 2 or 3 minutes with the lard Crisco in it. And then, once the peppers hit the hot oil, I turn it down to about a 6 or a 5. Actually, I'm going to turn this up so about to a 6, so a medium high heat. And now I'm going to add the chicken right there in the center. Now these are pre-made grilled chicken breasts. And these are going to taste so good. I swear. You're going to be so good. This is going to be one of those things that you make for your family on a Saturday night. Of course, I'm making it for lunch. Now, traditionally with fajitas, like I said before, they have green pepper, red pepper, onions, and some form of meat. You can use beef, pork, or chicken. In my case, I'm using chicken. And they also can be served with rice. They can have rice in them. Fajitas are a very customizable meal. And you don't need a lot to make them. So, we're going to let those continue to cook over the medium-high heat. Let the chicken kind of get brown. Arrange it so that the chicken is all on the pan and none of it's sitting on top of the peppers. And just the simple seasoning of it all. If I'm not mistaken, in like Spain, where Spanish food originated, in Spain and in Mexico, I think fajitas are traditionally eaten as kind of like a walking meal, where they're like street food, if I'm not mistaken, and not just like a family thing. Like, you can also eat fajitas at parties. That's another one of these things. Fajitas are kind of like a party food. They're kind of like a feel-good food. And I got another text that I'm going to ignore for right now. But I'm going to let these continue to cook. And again, I'm sorry, I got to pause the camera for a little bit.